PlayStation first party is cooked.
Oh yeah.
Why? You ask,
Overcooked.
why is PlayStation first party cooked? Because they admitted it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said, we have a brand new PlayStation 5 Pro out in the wild, and we want you guys to buy it. And instead of showing you guys one of our non-existent first party games, we're going to go ahead
Non-existent
and
first party
put
game.
all of our eggs into motherfucking, what the fuck happened here? Let's go back. There we go. Forza Horizon 5 PS5 Pro features trailer. You gotta listen. I'm gonna put it on, not to hear it, okay, but just to. I'm gonna put it on right where it is, right here. It's gonna open up. I'm gonna share this one. We're gonna put it no sound, okay. I'm gonna put it like this. You just read the words. Read the words, right? This is PlayStation 5 Pro. Sony. Witness Play Unleashed with the PlayStation 5 Pro.
That's wild.
What they really want to discover vibrant Mexico with enhanced 4K graphics. Oh man, they're so happy to promote the experience next level realism with advanced ray tracing while driving. Sounds like I don't know, but it sounds like, man.
I feel like this is their way of saying, first of all, Forza is better than Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
Xbox
that this is
better.
what I'm hearing.
Xbox better.
For sure.
For sure. I feel like they basically said, yeah, fuck Gran Turismo. That Gran Turismo ain't shit on our box. Okay. Gran Turismo ain't shit on our box. I mean, for me, listen, people might take it however they take it.
Okay.
But I can tell you right now, for me, when I saw this, immediately in my mind, I just saw it and I said, wow, you really have no first party games to show off your box. You really don't have a first party studio in your stable that you can put a trailer together for and go ahead and fucking show off your console. That's hilarious to me. It's so funny. I find it so funny that after all the jokes that we do all the time about how shitty their first party is, as far as like not having one, right? Like them not coming out to play, coming out once a year doesn't really do it for me. And I don't think does it for most people. And so I just feel like it's like, wow, you really wanted to use a 4-year-old Xbox first party game to promote the PlayStation 5 Pro. I gotta tell you, that blows my fucking mind.
If that doesn't scream, we don't have first party games to showcase the PlayStation 5 Pro, or the pisser, as some may call it. Like, I don't know how else these developers may want this spelled out. And to also, like, out of anything they could have chosen to put over there, it's a freaking Xbox game that, you know, developers argue that Gran Turismo is the best racer out there, right? Well, Hiroki doesn't seem to agree with that. Yeah, this is not a good look. They had the state of play. They used Borderlands 4 instead of Ghost of Yote. That is so telling as to how they feel about what they're releasing this year. And this now, they have no confidence, no belief, and listen, put out there what you want, believe what you want, have the media go ahead and try to back you. But even they themselves are no longer backing themselves. They're like, listen, anyone who doesn't understand the situation that we're in, that's on you.
Dude, they're going full third party.
Yeah, this is them embracing. At first, they had kind of like, you know, the hesitation, and, you know, they put that show together. And I had mentioned, I thought they were going to showcase Doom and, you know, some of the Xbox games going to their platform, and they didn't do that. And I was like, what a waste of an opportunity, because at that point you got to just, you know, see what the crowd is pre-ordering and wish listing and kind of just lean on that. This is them leaning on Xbox and saying, okay, just slide it all through. We accept. You know, the terms and conditions, we're good with it. This is it. This is them waving the white flag saying you're not competing with us. You're just taking.
Baby, the Beer Baron has a question for you.
Hi.
How come no footage of Marathon to showcase their Pro? Laughing my ass off, 3.6 bill
Seriously,
for nothing.
Nothing to show
the
for.
Isn't theirs. That's why they stole the art. That's why.
Stolen art. Let's not forget, they're thieves. They're thieves. That's wild. Stolen art and music for Marathon. And it's crazy because we've been kind of like shedding on Marathon and like, look at this. Is this really the best that they can do? And no, they can't even do that. They had to steal it.
That's wild.
So
what a goddamn shame.
The game was in trouble anyways, but now it's just shameful.
I agree. Yeah, I mean that's just a mess. But again, I mean it just adds up. Where are the games that they can go ahead and try to get somebody excited? First of all, if you guys all remember, okay, I said this when it first dropped. I told you that Forza Horizon 100% was going to be the best looking game that PlayStation had on their system.
You did.
And what did they do? They go ahead and they put Forza Horizon 5 on the pedestal to pimp out their PlayStation 5 Pro.
If this doesn't scream,
I
this
thought
is
Xbox
king.
makes crappy games. Nobody wants to play them. I'm surprised. Hold on a second. How is this a thing? I don't understand. Do they not realize it's an Xbox game?
If this is their way of clapping back, you're using our box to go ahead and sell games. We're going to use your games to go ahead and sell boxes. This was not the clap back that you thought.
But guys, hold on. This is an L for Xbox.
Oh, of course.
It's an L for Xbox to help sell their game on the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's an L for Xbox, right? Because, you know, when you receive money, it's an L, right? Like, that's the worst, right? Like, who the fuck wants money? You know what I'm saying? Like, get this out of here. Who would ever think of going ahead and try? This is such an L for Xbox, right? I don't know. I don't know if they sold that. Infinite Hero has a great point. Forza Horizon 5 sold 2 million. Isn't 2 million copies of Forza Horizon sold on PlayStation 5 actually more than Astrobot? How come they didn't put Astrobot here?
Game of the year. Game of the year.
How come the Game of the Year 2025? Wouldn't you want to put that shit on billboards? Astrobot 2025 Game of the Year, PlayStation 5 Pro. Go buy a Pro. Go rush out and buy a Pro. I don't know. I feel like that.
And listen, I got to go to Spartan over here. He says you're paying $700 to play Xbox games.
But don't forget, you're trading in your Xbox. That's what the Ponybots claim. They're going to trade in their Xboxes, spend $700, and then spend $100 on the premium edition of Forza Horizon 5.
I mean, that's what makes sense. That's how math works.
Makes sense.
Hey, and it's all for 5 extra FPS and 2 pixels.
Not even, because Forza Horizon is perfect perfect frame rate on Xbox. So it's the identical frame rate, which is wild.
So I was told that their Horizon Forbidden West was the most beautiful powerhouse. And I just started that on PC, which would be like a much better quality than whatever you got on PlayStation.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, I don't understand what they're talking about.
Exactly.
It is just oversaturated colors. This is absolutely like a PS4 game. There's just no, I don't know how they got this idea that this was a next gen looking game. This is an Xbox One game, but it looks phenomenal on a Series X, right? And not to mention on freaking computer, right? Obviously PC even blows away that, but like it's night and day difference. I don't understand what they're thinking. I'm looking at like the grass and the ground, and I'm like, this is not even close to Forza Horizon 5. What are you guys talking about? It is. Facts. I don't know what they're saying. Like, I think they get like caught up with like oversaturation of color and think that that's actually better graphics. It's not. Mm-hmm. It does not look that good. I don't know what they're saying. And I'm on a 4090, fully maxed, right? So I'm giving it the best chance it's possibly got. It's just not that good. And the game, by the way, she talks.
Oh, how many times have you fallen asleep? That's the real question.
Talking.
You thought Lego was bad?
3 times. I know. I knew it.
I almost get to the point of like
sleep. Dude, honestly, you know,
it's like the best sleep ever, Hardy, right?
Real day. Taking her out of the game and putting her into a sleeping device.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
seriously.
If you have a hard time sleeping, just put this on and you'll sleep like a baby. That's it.
And like I really liked the first one, and I'm like, why is this game so much worse? And like every time
I actually beat the first one.
It's like, and like this, and like, and I'm like,
because they seem so disinterested in their lives, bro. Like they're just all of them talking dude. Like I don't worst. It's so whack.
Like there's no excitement, and I'm like, why is this game so meh? Like now, granted, I'm at the beginning, but it's like it's hard to keep playing. Like I want to play it, but I was like, you're really making it difficult for me.
I get it.
But yeah, it's not good. Horizon is not their best like freaking IP.
New category for games, lullaby category.
Yeah.
Well, they already have like the cozy game. Why not bedtime? Bedtime game category. You ready for bed? Play this. Fucking rock your socks to sleep.
Out for days.
I haven't even mentioned like freaking Hellblade 2, which I mean, come on, they're not even in the same league. I don't know what the heck these guys are saying.
Yeah, seriously though.
Prepare to see that as their next ad.
Oh my gosh,
their next ad is going to be
the next reason to buy a Pro.
Buy a Pro. Have access to actual next gen games on PlayStation is the only way. Xbox been having them for years already, but sure, you can finally catch up and play something that actually is a next gen game. It's fucking crazy, yo. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, so Argy, what do you think? Do you see it the way I see it, or am I just,
as far as they're cooked? Well, so. Look, we've talked about their first party, and it's been somewhat disappointing, right? This generation, look, there's a perception that somehow Xbox still has no games, and I'm like, in what world? Like first party output, Xbox literally has more games now than PlayStation does, and their aggregate meta is just about the same, and so quality is there, the number of games are there. And I'm looking at your roadmap, PlayStation, and I'm seeing like the dust that I see in the background here. That's all I see. Whereas with Xbox, it's like just inundating. And like there's so much. We've already got so many games this year, and the roadmap is still to come for the rest of the year, right? With an unannounced game that's coming out this year, right? They've already told us that there's an unannounced game that's coming out this year. So
I thought there was multiple.
There's just crazy amounts of content on this side, and the other side just doesn't look that good. And part of it is they canceled a bunch of games, right? Obviously, that's it. They also got hit with COVID after they released a bunch of games, right? So they were really close to done, and they put those games out during COVID, but then COVID hit their studios, and now they're kind of reeling and trying to figure out how to make the games come out. And it's going to be a while. So even with the studios that we think are going to release good games, like Intergalactic didn't really push people to be happy. That's not good. So like that's coming. There's gonna be another game that they're making. Apparently, we'll see what that is. What is Sony Santa Monica working on? I don't know. They just released their game a couple of years ago. Maybe they have something coming in the next couple of years. But we haven't seen anything, and they haven't really given us a roadmap at all. This generation for them is going to be pretty lackluster, and people still seem to have this perception that PlayStation has the better games, and I'm like, what games though? like what games? I don't know. And when you look at the output, they have like a lot of sequels, and those sequels tend to not be as good as their originals, right? So I don't know. Like there's a few new games. They have, what is it? The Saros team. What was that? Returnal. Which, okay, 500,000 people played that game. That's really it. Like they don't have a lot of new games, and it's not exciting. If it was exciting, they'd have showcases. When they've had showcases, nobody's cared. Their new games are things like Marathon that nobody gives a crap. Even that is technically a sequel because Marathon existed before, but nobody seems to care about that. And then you've got Fair Games. Okay.
DOA.
And then you literally have DOA. That was another new IP, and then that went nowhere. So I don't like. Come on, what do they have that's exciting? Gummy bears? Is anybody interested in gummy bears?
Oh my gosh,
gummy bears! Because that's what you got.
Hold on, you're telling me you're not excited for Team Looking for Group?
No, I'm not. Yeah, sadly.
Oh god damn.
The purchase of Bungie was possibly the single most disastrous purchase in gaming history. I mean, it absolutely destroyed a top tier publisher in PlayStation, and they now look like crap. They went in and told them your games suck. There's this funny thing, like King David, he keeps saying like funny things, and one of them is that Xbox or Phil worked with Bungie as a a poison pill to go over there and destroy.
Yeah, I said that a long time ago.
Yeah, you've been saying that from the start. They send them in
at the beginning, yo.
And I mean, it's funny, but it feels like it's true. Like, because how can you like totally destroy everything they're doing? All the studios they bought are pretty much dead, right? All the ones that Jim Ryan bought, they're pretty much gone, right? So you're like, okay, how is this possible? They basically destroyed everything. They killed factions. They killed Spider-Man whatever the multiplayer they had there, Twisted Metal, on and on. They killed all those, the ones that people actually wanted to play, and then they killed all the new studios. And they kept Concord, which was a bunch of ex-Bungie people. Kept Team LFG, which again is a bunch of ex-Bungie people in a new studio. It's just insane. How is this even a thing? I don't know.
Can't make it up, man.
Is anybody going to be interested in the next Horizon game? I mean, I literally am trying to push myself to play that game, and that's not a good place to be. Like the first game, I couldn't put it down. This one, I'm like, I'm bored. All right, let's.
And considering
like,
their pattern where they just continue to get worse and worse as it continues, I can't imagine that if they made another one that it's going to be any better than the second one or even reach.
And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
you're going to do a multiplayer of that? Okay, whatever, dude. I don't know. So are they cooked? Look, they could fix it. But it's not going to be easy, and they're not going to get a lot of investment, right? Sony is going to be very reticent to do any investment in this company, in the PlayStation part of their company, because they just spent billions and got buckets for it. They basically got destroyed. So I don't see them saying, "Oh, you want another 2? Can you make me 2 billion first, and then we'll talk?" I don't think it's going to happen. So their best bet is this. It's going to third parties, and a big third party for them is Xbox, and bringing their games over and saying, please play Xbox games on our platform. That's basically where they are. I don't know what else to really say. If they had a good showcase that says, here's the enthusiasm, this is what you should come here for, I just don't see it. Unfortunately, they don't do it. So maybe they have a bunch of games in the works. Show me. Show me. Give me proof of life of anything. I don't see it. You've got Wolverine that we haven't seen in a while, but we have it out on PC already because it leaked and it's not all that good so far. But hopefully it changes. I don't know. And then you've got, Intergalactic, Saros. What else do they got? I don't know. I'm just not sure what to really think. On the other side, they go to Yotai that's coming out this year, and hopefully that's good. I hope it's good. So hopefully that'll be a good game. And what else? That maybe that's enough if you were in the early 2000s, right? That's cool. But you're not in that world anymore. No. You're competing with two major platforms in Xbox and in Nintendo that routinely put out 10 games. What are you going to do to compete with that? You have to have anything.
They're not. They're not gonna. They just can't. That's the thing. They're not. They're not. Can't. They're showing you they're not trying to. They're showing it. They're just you know what?
They're giving it.
We'll release our one game whenever we release it, and we're gonna make all of our money on our store. It's so funny because Porter Rock clipped us and spent a whole lot of time talking, about what we were saying, right? So he was play us and then talk about what we were saying. And everything he said, his only response was always about consoles. No matter what we were talking about, it's always about consoles. That's the only angle that they have. And it's
I don't know what that means. What does that help?
But what exactly. But he also brought up how they made more money than they've ever made. But think about this.
In revenue, but not profit.
Yeah. But
there's the problem.
But the bigger thing is, where did they get that money from? Had nothing to do with their first party. Nada.
Not just that, but how much money have they wasted on their first party? They're still spending the money with all these canceled games, whatever has gone into that. And then games like Concord and Marathon, where they've invested heavily and now they're not going to make any profit from it. So what does that all mean? That's all money that they need to bring back in somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah, and recoup.
Yeah.
And they're predicting that their revenue is going to go down next year. So, and not a small amount, significantly down. So what do you say then? Right. So now it's not growing. Now it's declining. When you get declining, that's not a good place to be. So, I don't know. It feels like the Xbox One when it started its generation, where it had a whole bunch of decline, a whole bunch of crap. Right. And then they had to dig out. But understand, Xbox had Daddy Microsoft. They don't have that luxury at Sony. Sony can't bail you out. It's not going to be as easy to get bailed out.
Obviously, Xbox is bailing them out to try to push this PlayStation 5 Pro, right?
Hey, they're doing the same thing they did for Apple. They saved Apple back in the day. They're doing the same thing for PlayStation.
Yeah, they're saving PlayStation.
Literally saying,
Microsoft.
Maybe that works.
Forza Horizon.
Captain 7 Ho. Microsoft.
There you go. Yeah, and maybe that's the plan, right? To keep them around, to keep them limping around, so that they can continue to buy stuff and say, "No, we're not killing PlayStation. Look, we're giving them everything. They're making money."
Not only that, but using those boxes.
And they get to use the boxes that have been sitting there stale, with cobwebs and shit on them. Now they're going ahead and say, "Oh, okay, well, why don't we put our games on there since people actually seem to give a shit?" And you know who agrees? Sony, because they've decided to put Forza Horizon 5 as their fucking mascot.
And a bundle with Call of Duty,
That's
right?
wild.
They're bundling Call of Duty.
Exactly.
What the heck, right? If you're going to keep making Xbox 22,
were the developers bragging about them bundling Call of Duty that somehow, they spend the money, but look at what they're doing with it because of the money that comes in from it. Exactly. You don't leave money on the table. You snatch it all up. Come on, man. These are the opportunities that they saw when they went ahead. And yes, it's not Call of Duty, the reason why they bought ABK, but this is how you go ahead and milk that. These are the opportunities that they have from what they did.
Facts.
I mean, if Microsoft
100%
was failing at what they're doing, why are they a $3.4 trillion company? They're the top company on the planet.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
You know what's funny? You can literally delete $3 trillion off of Microsoft's books, and they're still worth more than twice as much as Sony. And that's deleting $3 trillion. If they fuck up, if they just fuck up their entire world at Microsoft and they lose $3 trillion, they're still in a better position.
And then they get upset when we say that they're not the same and they're not looking at PlayStation as competition.
Things, babe, and all they say is, but like the console sales. You're concerned that PlayStation has the console sales. You gotta look at the sales
at this
of the
point,
console, man.
At this point, you could probably take the value of just the Xbox division, and that is probably the equivalent of Sony, all of Sony.
Yep.
So that's just a reality at this point. Right?
Xbox,
Look, they bought $70 billion of ABK. They own that. That asset is theirs. $70 billion.
Xbox.
Right? And do we think that's gone down in value or up in value? It's likely gone up in value. And then you got Bethesda.
Well, it was already worth more to begin with, and then it's gone up in value.
Yeah. So you probably got 80,
Xbox
90
by
just
itself
there. And then you've got the rest of Xbox,
damn,
which is probably a good 30, 40, 50 easily on its own. Right. And so you have this massive thing, which is probably the equivalent of Sony's market cap. That's
so Xbox is fucking with Sony. Sony has their little baby PlayStation underneath them. Like, hey, shut up.
And they're not done.
People are talking.
Perhaps Sega's coming. Perhaps
my God. I need to see him, man.
I don't. Go ahead.
It doesn't stop. But, Demo, before you hop in, because I want you to get your bars in, but we do have the answer. If you remember, Do UK Now Broke Boy Insider went ahead and said the fuck I will, and he did 6 more memberships.
He did.
And Spartan only had 5, so he beat him and took him off of the list and said, Spartan, your move. And Spartan said, I'll show you what the fuck the move is. And went ahead and gifted another all point for Gamer Soup memberships. So thank you so much, my brother. Appreciate you. He's officially taking the top spot.
Let's go.
Y'all know what to do.
Tell him, baby.
Put the motherfucking welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome our newest members, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking out with us. And that is dun 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 dun. It's going to be Heavy Core Project, James Thomas, Micah Ford, Stage on X, and Nocturnal Mission Chaos 4374. Thank you guys.
Welcome, you guys. Spartan 661. That's so dope
Spartan,
of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then Michael Guzman follows up with another membership, man. Thank you so much, my brother. Y'all know what the fuck to do.
Tell him, baby.
Motherfucking welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome our newest member. That, my friends, is John RPG. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate
Michael Guzman. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much.
Love.
Then we have the homie Gil Lee Han.
Gil.
Super chat. Appreciate you, fam. Says,
thank you.
My niece loves Lego, but cried when I bought her the hoe.
Oh.
Lego the hoe. Damn. That's real wild.
Yo.
That's real wild.
That's wild.
I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand. That makes sense to me. And then you do have the homie Torino Johnson. Thank you, brother, for being here.
Torino.
Member for 5 months.
Thank you,
so
love.
much, brother.
Thank
Says,
you.
Forbidden West is the new Hudson Hawk. I don't know what Hudson Hawk is, but I'm
was
pretty
entertaining.
sure.
I don't know why it would be the same. I don't know. Hudson Hawk's a movie. It was Bruce Willis.
Well, maybe he found it to put him to sleep.
Oh, what was that movie, babe? Every time
The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh,
we've never watched The Day After Tomorrow, but we've started it 45,000 times.
Seriously,
and we would always just fall asleep and wake up the day
after
tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just the way it would work.
Oh my gosh, every time
it was
like, yeah, today's the day. Every time, just
today
out cold. Never watched a movie, saw the beginning.
God.
Like
absolutely
8 million times.
South Park had such a fun time with that. They had like their episode was the day before the the day the day after tomorrow. So it was like the tomorrow, and then they're like, no, it's 2 days before the day after tomorrow. That's today.
Oh my god,
they have
wild.
so much fun. South Park is so good, man.
Yeah, it's a shit.
That's real wild. So Demo, apologize, man, but thank you. Go ahead, hop in. What do you feel when you see this? Do you see the same thing as us, that PlayStation clearly has no first party content that they can pimp out their PlayStation 5 Pro with?
Well, man, this is a story of Sony PlayStation right here, in a nutshell. Look, guys, this is it. They got nothing else. Like, and it goes to shows that marketing your console with a supposedly you're up or your opposition, right? Video games might seem like a flex, based on what the Sony PlayStation fanboys told you about, like, hey, we got
With how they want it
games.
to look.
Right. But the reality of it is, like, it makes Sony PlayStation look bad. You're marketing Xbox right on your console. You know, believe it or not, at the end of the day, this is an Xbox game from Xbox Game Studios, and you're showcasing the power of your console with that type of game. What does that mean? Like, why don't you pick up the God of War or something to showcase the the power of the console, and you have to resort to other games. And look, there's really nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. I feel like it's okay. It's another video game. If you look at it from a neutral, right, point of view, it's just another video game. But when you out here telling and talking about how Xbox sucks and all of that, and you market the games like, for your graphics, what does that tell you? That goes to show that the games got quality, right? And they don't have anything to show you the power of PlayStation other than Xbox games. They don't have Sony PlayStation games to show you the power of the PlayStation. Now, you can argue that Death Stranding 2 and all that, but how come they didn't do it with that? And they did it with Forza. They bundle it in with Call of Duty. Everybody's like, right, like, how come Xbox doesn't sell Call of Duty with the Xbox and in a bundle? Like, why? You got Call of Duty on fucking Game Pass, dog. Are you dumb? Are you really like, I don't really get it. You got the game on Game Pass. Every year Call of Duty will release on Game Pass. So I don't really get why would you want to buy a bundle with Call of Duty in it. I'd rather buy another game, to be honest. And have, if I'm going to buy an Xbox and it comes with a game, I want it to be something else. Not Call of Duty that is already guaranteed for me. Because I obviously use Game Pass. So the way I see it, this is just Xbox displaying his dominance in the gaming space, and PlayStation showing a lot of weaknesses, especially here for this summer, without a showcase, without no participation in any of these summer shows. I hope that they can come and show something in this summer, because it's they done and they allow Xbox to continue to run and get ahead the way that they've been doing it. I think it's going to be problematic for PlayStation to catch up, not only in content but also in value for the customers. And that's just that's just the way I see it. Like, there's really nothing out there in PlayStation that is of value. In fact, the only one thing that they had, pro consumer, they just canceled it, which was like the reward system that they had, which was like not the best, but some people used it, and it's it was good, because at the end of the day they were giving something back, but now they even took it away. And and now it's just like, I don't know, it's not looking very good over there. I cannot recommend people to go ahead and buy a PlayStation now and be like, oh yeah, like, you should go get a PlayStation, it's the shit. Like, I'm gonna be like, if somebody asked me, because a lot of people ask me usually in the comments, usually during live streams, they ask me, what should I get, a PlayStation and an Xbox? And I don't want to sound like I'm selling an Xbox and I work at the store trying to sell you the Xbox, but the reality is, like, fuck, are you gonna go get in the PlayStation? That's right, they do have their exclusives that supposedly you can have nowhere else, but they all in PC. You can play all of them via GeForce Now. Trust me, you don't really need Twitch reflexes to play Horizon Forbidden West. You can play that shit literally half sleep, and go through it, because it's not that demanding of performance or latency, things like that. So I just believe that the real reason why people buy a PlayStation is because of the exclusives, and now they don't have it. So what else do you have to offer? Now, if you offer me a good price and you offer me a good discounts in your store, and your peripherals are nice, and your hardware is not too expensive, and it's cool and it's reliable and all that, I might fuck with you. But when we're talking about PlayStation Plus, which is similar in price to Xbox Game Pass, and they give you nothing, it just it just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me. And also I cannot recommend it. To be honest. Nothing against them. If you like PlayStation, go ahead and play whatever the hell you want. Don't take my word for it. Go ahead and spend your $700-800 on the PlayStation 5 Pro, whatever the hell you want to do. That's your money. But I'm just telling you, bro, it's bright in the other side. Put those $800, right? And let's say you're gonna get PS Plus. That's not that's not $800 in your PlayStation 5 Pro and in your base of the PlayStation 5, your disc tray, your controller, your little thingies that they sell you, all the peripherals. It's about $900 that you're going to be spending, plus not PlayStation Plus subscription. You over $1,000 already, plus the games that you have to buy, right? Because those games are not on PS Plus. Like, they literally take away God of War and, for Horizon Forbidden West and all these games, The Last of Us, from the service, so they can sell you the same game more expensive in a newer version, right? So, I mean, when they do shit like this, it's really hard for me to go ahead and root for them, because they're really not giving anything to you, the gamer, right? And obviously, if you like the hardware, if you like the controller, if you like their games, really like that, because I mean, there's real fans out there, go for it. But don't come over here and try to spit in our food and tell us that it's bad. Because I mean, we're not gonna fuck with you. It's okay, you can play whatever the hell you want, but when you come over here and say some stupid shit like Xbox is dead, or I hope that Game Pass fails. The other day I reposted these clown James or whatever on Twitter. He said, ha ha ha, Doom and Indiana Jones flopped. They didn't move the needle for Game Pass. And then some other people down there in the comments that we're talking about, oh, we really hope that Game Pass flop, and we really hope that Game Pass disappears because it's bad for gaming and all of that, all the shit that they saying. And it's like, why? It doesn't not affect you, how you consume your games on PlayStation, whether I have Game Pass or no. Now, it makes you jelly as hell that I'm playing Metaphor Refantasio, and you've been talking about it all year, right? But you haven't fucking played. You've been talking about Astrobot. You haven't fucking played because you didn't buy it, dude. It's right there. The numbers are right there. So you cannot tell me that Indiana Jones flopped because Disney came out and freaking fucking Bethesda came out and they said that they were happy. Let's go. Who are you gonna listen to? Xbox Gaming and Reforged Gaming, or are you gonna listen to the fucking people who actually made the fucking game? And the people who actually, own the IP like Disney.
And the people moving forward and wanting to go ahead and make another game, right?
Exactly.
I think money. It doesn't matter if you want to run out there and claim that something failed. When they're moving forward and making another deal and wanting to make another game, I think that speaks volumes, and there's nothing anybody else can necessarily say. But, it's just, at what point do you sit there and you think that as a gamer where you're looking to get quality games, you think that your argument should be how many boxes they have out and how much money they made? What did they do for you? What did they bring to the table that benefited you from spending money on that box? Because you already spend your money. So more people buying the box doesn't equate to anything, right? Other than PlayStation themselves having more boxes out there. Where are your games to play? At this point, they maybe would have been better off, because you see this and you're like, okay, they're promoting the PlayStation 5 Pro to play what? Xbox games? When I can what does that say about your first party? If these are the games that I'm coming to your box to play, why don't I just get an Xbox and sign up to Game Pass? Right? I mean, that's logical. the mentality makes sense. This mess does not.
Dude, it saves you more money to own both consoles. 100%. To instead
absolutely to own both consoles and have Game Pass and then go ahead and be selective with whatever you want to buy on PlayStation. If it's Ghost of Yotei, which by the way they absolutely have no confidence in, if it's that you're looking to buy, or Intergalactic, whenever that ends up coming out, which you guys have spoken, you said your piece, you've said how you felt about the game, so you can't say that and be upset that they're making this game and then use it as ammo for your battle. Like, oh, well, Naughty Dog is working on Intergalactic. You already said you don't give a shit about that game. So what are you bragging about? You're not going to play it. It's ridiculous. I think, great. I see what they're doing. I see why they're doing it. And I understand the position that they're in. But in order to keep, some type of integrity or just anything, put The Last of Us in there. Promote your PlayStation 5 Pro with that bitch again. Bring that back up. It is not a good look for you to go ahead and grab an Xbox game and say, this is what we have here, and this is the reason why you should buy the Pro.
Big facts. I can tell you right now, they like to talk shit about Xbox games. These games are failing, but we get sequels and new games from the studios all the time, right?
You can't have it both ways.
I'll take this failure versus your failure, which is Concord shuts down.
Game over. Game over.
Marathon stealing assets. Fair games being played the first time outside of the studio, and they fucking fired the bitch who was fucking working on that shit. Yo.
Gummy bears.
You got gummy bears
down. People getting fired.
Team looking for group. I'll take our failure versus your failure.
Absolutely.
All right? Let's put it that way. Go ahead, Debo. Sorry to cut you off, man.
Yeah. And I noticed that it's just the new era, right? It's just okay, when you play dominoes and you shake everything up, and then when you start a new round, this is it. This is a fresh start for for Xbox. And of course, I love slapping dominoes down. So it's just a new beginning, and people gotta understand that gaming is advancing in different ways, and we're gonna see new advancements right now that they're gonna make console and gaming in only one device exclusively obsolete, because of the way that software is going to be connected with each of these devices. And I believe that's what Xbox is doing. It's trying to unify in one device, in all devices, make software work, and that's what they improving Windows. So there you have it. I think this is fun. This is fine that that they're doing it with Forza. I don't see it in a negative way, but at the same time, from the console world perspective, this is kind of weak, because you would expect them to have something from their studios, first party studios, out here displaying the power and the new technologies of Sony, right? Not Microsoft, because they already been doing this. So now we're gonna get the PlayStation 2s saying that it looks better on PlayStation, that it looks crispier, all of that, but okay,
that doesn't even matter, because we know exactly what the pisser is. We know exactly what the pisser is. We've heard about it. We saw the downfall. They came out here and said it. They themselves cannot stand by what the developers wanted the pisser to be, right? Or what they made it out to be. Yo, hold up. That's not true. Stop spreading lies. Exactly. Thank you, Hargi. It's Flop Station.
Flop Station.
Listen, this is it's a disaster. We know the box ain't it. And for you guys to say this box, the game that will look best is this 4 to 5 year old game, right? Because they make quality games that actually look good, no matter what trash box you put them into. Come on, man.
Facts. Well, listen, I think it's pretty clear now that we're all on the same page. overall, I think this is just it's embarrassing that we've gotten to the point with PlayStation where everything they've tried, they failed with, and the stuff that is still coming is clearly following the same roadmap of everything else they've done. We had God of War on PlayStation 4, then we got Ragnarok. The same game, same tech, same everything, just a new story, right? Spider-Man 2, same shit, right? PlayStation 4, Spider-Man 1, PlayStation 5, Spider-Man 2, same tech, same everything, new story. Now, Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei, same fucking thing. PlayStation 4, Ghost of Tsushima, PlayStation 5, Ghost of Yotei, same tech, same everything, just a new story and a new protagonist. Like they're just going down this same road over and over again. We've seen Wolverine, you know, the start of that, how they're literally just basing it off of Spider-Man and then just trying to change the character and build off of that, right? Like, it's just, PlayStation is literally in such a ridiculous place that, again, to promote their PlayStation 5 Pro, they didn't use Gran Turismo, the game that Digital Foundry will tell you is a better looking game pound for pound, is the way they would phrase it. The details of the car is the cars look better, whatever bullshit that they'll tell you, right? That's what they'll feed you, because we know they love Sony, right? But Sony said, nah, fam. Sit down. What's his name? Ken Yamaguchi, the guy who makes Gran Turismo. He was like, yo, sit down, bro. We're good. We don't need your pro patch or whatever it is that you did. It's not going to cut it. Forza Horizon 5 is going to be our new sales tactic that we're using to promote PlayStation 5. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
That's wild to me. So it's fun times. Fun times. Can't wait to see how they position Hellblade 2 when it comes over there. See how that will
push some boxes.
That is going to become the dominant game, right? That'll promote PlayStation. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a fun time.